Your boyfriend broke up with you, but he says that he still loves you. How can you even explain that? Breakups are painful and heartbreaking, and they often leave people feeling lonely. In fact, just knowing that you might never see the guy and you love again is enough to make you angry and full of ideas about how to get your ex back. When the guy you thought was the one breaks up with you, the first thing you might think is that there is someone else. If he is breaking up with you, there must be a reason, like he fell out of love, found someone else, or found out that you are both medically incompatible. When he breaks up with you out of the blue, you expect a good reason, not a "babe, I still love you, but I think it's best for us to go out separate ways" speech. You must be wondering, why did he break up with me if he still loves me? What you don't get is how he acts after they broke up. Even though you guys broke up, he calls and sends you emotional messages all the time. Still, there are more than one reason why a guy would break up with you, even though he says he still cares about you. So, let's get into it. 1. The relationship was under so much stress. We have instincts that tell us to stay away from pain and always look for pleasure. Because of this, most men will leave a relationship if there are a lot of fights, misunderstandings, and arguments. In your case, he might have decided to take a break because he couldn't handle all of that at once. This doesn't mean that he doesn't care about you, but he probably decided to leave to keep his mind straight. I know that breakups happen often and that it's never just one person's fault, but I'm sorry to tell you this, but you may have been a big part of this one. No matter how much you love the other person, no one wants to be in a bad relationship. Set up a meeting with your ex if you want to get him or her back. Talk to him about why he left, and he might finally let you in. 2. He doesn't see you in his future. I know that saying this is very hurtful and probably not what you wanted to hear. Men can figure out a lot about their partners based on how they act. Things you think are small might be very important to him. For instance, you don't want kids when you get married, but your ex has strong family ties and likes the idea of kids. It's also possible that your ex notices how often you get angry and upset during heated arguments and fights. No matter how he tries to explain himself or make you feel better, you just won't listen. At this point, your ex will probably think that things will never get better. They may also have been problems with getting along with each other. Men like to test out relationships to see if they will last, and when they don't, they back out. No one wants to put their heart, time, and money into a relationship that might not work out in the end. If this is the case, you might not be able to get back together, even if you want to. 3. He doesn't find you attractive anymore. This has nothing to do with whether or not he really cares about you. It's a very logical reason why a man would leave a woman even though he still cares about her. The relationship could be good, but if he loses interest, he might feel like there is no point to it. I think that a man who is truly in love with you would do everything he could do make you feel the same way about him again. They will try to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it. But not all men are brave and strong enough to make it through this kind of storm. So this could be one reason why he thinks leaving the relationship is best option. Your ex may have also left you because he no longer feels like he has a deep connection with you. When he doesn't feel emotionally connected to her, he sees the relationship as more like work. Having a close relationship is very important, and if you want your ex back, you should look for ways to get it back. 4. You depend on him so much. When a man sees that a woman depends on him too much and loses her sense of purpose because of it, he loses all interest in her. I know that men like it when their women lean on him for support and safety. But when it gets too much and too much, the opposite happens. Your relationship shouldn't become the most important thing in your life. You might seem desperate if you stop seeing your friends and do other things that make you who you are just to please him. Your constant need for him and reliance on him may have driven him away. Instead of trying to get your ex back right away, I think you should take some time off from the relationships and try to find yourself again. Get back in touch with your close friends and do the things you used to love. You might get back together with your ex after some time. 5. He doesn't know who he is anymore. No matter how much you want your partner to do well, you shouldn't try to change them or fix them. You shouldn't change things about him, like how he talks or dresses, or how he chooses his food. If you do, you might end up losing him completely. Maybe he didn't use social media before, but now he takes a lot of photos and posts things about his life, and he'd rather keep private, which could be upsetting. This is a problem that many of our female readers have. It makes you question whether or not he really likes you. Most of us women make a mistake when we try to get men to see things from our point of view instead of theirs. Your ex may still care about you, but at some point he'll realize that he only has one life and that he should live it to the fullest. 6. You no longer had anything in common. You and your boyfriend might have liked each other because you both like the same things. You might have both liked to talk about politics or the newest technology. All of that changed after you had been together for a while, and you don't seem to get along anymore. You don't agree on much, and when you do, it's almost hard to get something done. It's likely that one of the reasons he broke up with you was because of these small everyday things. I think you should do a heart check and think about how you met. You would find out what it was about you and had first made him like you. If you want to save your relationship and get back together with your ex, I think it can still be saved. 7. You don't value him enough. Relationships that only go one way get old very quickly. No one wants to date an arrogant and selfish girl. 8. You have different values. This is the deal breaker of all deals. When he finds out you don't want kids and he does, it's very hard to find a middle ground. 9. It's just you. Listen, chances you're a good person, and even though you can't see it right now, he broke up with you because the relationship wasn't going to work. He might find you annoying, dull, clingy, or any of a number of the other things. Some people are just as wrong for each other as Liz Lemon and Wesley Snipes, but it takes time to see.